Welcome to a marketing moment, or maybe more than one moment. In this session, we're going to cover off a number of things. We're going to go through the definition of marketing. We're going to talk about something called the 4 Ps, which is the marketing mix. We're going to discuss inbound versus outbound marketing, and I promise you that will be interesting. We're going to review what's called a path to purchase, and then we're going to wrap up with a marketing toolbox. So let's get started. So to start, if I asked you what your definition of marketing was, you probably have a pretty good idea of what that might be.
Hey, you never know.
That's a part of it. Marketing is actually the activity, set of institutions, and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have a value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. Blah, blah, blah. Long definition, American Marketing Association, thank you very much. But really, it tells us that the communications part, which you would expect to be the core of marketing, which it is only a part. We really need to start with what is the value for customers or clients, and how do we create something that meets their need? How do we communicate it and let them know that it's available? How do we deliver it to them? And how do we exchange the offering for something that has value? And it's typically money. Now, the marketing mix 4 Ps. So the 4 Ps, again, starts with the customer at the core. You add in the product, or in our case, service, and the price, and the place, or point of distribution, or how the customer accesses the service, where the customer accesses the service or the product. And finally, the promotion. So when we talk about the 4 Ps, it's intentionally called a mix because if you change one of these things, then it has an impact on the others. If you increase the price, then the promotion should change. The actual value of the product should increase along with the increase in the price. If you change the place where the product can be accessed, then that will have an impact on the others as well. But really, we're going to focus in on the promotion piece. So now let's touch on inbound versus outbound marketing. So historically, outbound marketing was the way to go. It was pushing messages out, was TV, radio, outdoor, newspaper. As the world evolved, and as we added the wild world of the web, marketing really evolved to inbound marketing. And that is where clients, where customers, potential customers, they drive where they get their information from. They are able to search for information. They are able to look for reviews. They will check out websites. They will look for the information that they need to be able to help them in their process of meeting their need. So I promised to talk to you about the path to purchase. Let's have a look at that right now. So in the retail world, mostly, path to purchase is something that talks about moving the customer from where they identified their original need to satisfying that need and becoming what we call loyal or a champion of the service. And as they move through each of those stages, and in this case, it's awareness, consideration, purchase, service, and loyalty, they will access various sources of information to be able to help them move their way along this process. They initially become aware of the problem that they have, the need that they have to fill. And so they will reach out. And there's a number of different ways to do that. There is digital, which is online. When they're first, and this is purely an example, but when they're first considering what their challenge is and how they might be able to solve this challenge, they could look at newsletters, they will look at Google Ads, social media, reviews, and on as they move towards actually meeting their need. There are also physical touch points. So public relations, your standard advertising, radio, TV, print, outdoor, word of mouth, which is very powerful. They could receive some direct mail. They could receive a phone call, a cold call, talking about the service. They will move their way along until they meet their need, and ideally, they are loyal. So they will then turn around and say, this is an amazing service, this is an amazing organization, they met my need, they exceeded my expectations, and tell their friends. In our real world, the path to purchase is not linear. It's more along these lines. So as potential customers are moving their way along the organization and they're making their decisions and getting information, they will go back to sources of information. They will see print ads multiple times. They'll do Google searches at various points. They will talk to their friends. They will see television ads. They will see print ads, etc., etc. And finally, the marketing toolbox. So the toolbox, which is also referred more technically as the PESO model of integration in some corners. Jeannie Dietrich, the author of Spin Sucks, created this model. I really like this model. And this is the PESO, which stands for paid, earned, shared, and owned media that we can leverage to be able to meet or exceed our marketing objectives. So paid media, this is advertising, boosted Facebook posts, direct mail, sales promotion, anything that we pay for to get our message out. The general public will take this information with a grain of salt. They will certainly consider it, depending on what the product is or the service is. But it's us telling our story. We can rely on it. We can make sure that the message is accurate and timely, but in context with some of the other media that we can leverage, it's not as powerful. Earned media is definitely more powerful than paid. Media relations, publicity, influencer relations, this is stories that others tell about us. So it's more powerful. Challenge is you cannot ensure that it will happen and you don't know exactly what will be reported. So you might not cover all of the key messages that we want to cover, but it's definitely powerful and should be included in the mix. Owned media. This is our website. This is sales kits. This is videos. This is virtual tours. These, again, are tools that we have available, and in the world of inbound, they're essential. Customers, potential customers, influencers will come to our website, will look for this information to round out their understanding of not only their challenge, but what we offer to be able to help them to meet that need. And finally, shared media. This one is tricky. This is social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, even TikTok, and others. And it's shared because we offer up content, but the only way that it's powerful is if we have followers, and if our followers like those posts and share them with their networks. So that message goes out more broadly. So here's the bonus round. There's lots of discussions about, let's brand this thing. Well, brand, identity, and logo are very different things. Logo is obvious. It's the symbols, the words, the color, the form, the shape that we create for our Connected Care logo, for our Points Based Living logo, and other property, either community logos. Our identity is using the logo. So stationery, signage, fonts, color systems, etc. And brand is how our target audience feels about us. When they look at our logo, what images come to mind? How do they feel about us? What are their expectations? What are their memories? Work that we do on establishing our brand, evolving our brand, needs to start with what is the current understanding of our brand and the feelings around it. So that was a little taste of marketing, starting with definition all the way through to talking about brand and logos. If you'd like to continue the conversation, or if you have questions, you know how to find me. Thank you.